Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I thought I would go ahead and start on that, my journey to free thinking. I'm going to really try to Reader's Digest this, ladies and gentlemen, and you know that is not my strong suit, but I will give it my best. Pardon me. Okay, around, I think it was maybe, I'm going to really cut to the chase in a lot of this, because I had religious beliefs growing up, and I was involved in a couple different branches of Christianity, but I was a total believer. And then at one point, I was kind of challenged with that, and this is when I started to investigate Judaism, and I thought that was the correct religion, so to speak, that God wanted me to do. And I never for a minute really gave it a thought to look at the legitimacy of God as presented in the Bible. I just, took it for granted that, oh, of course there's God, the God of the Bible, as I like to say, the Abrahamic God. So, one thing led to another, and I converted, as you know, because I have told you how I studied for a year and read like 70 books and went through these ceremonies. Oh, that's delightful. And so forth. Okay, so then life went on. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why I was triggered, so to speak. But I thought, I should probably take a look at this with the same critical eye that I gave to Christianity. This all does tie together, ladies and gentlemen. So I did, and the bottom line was I just could not really remain as any kind of believer in the Abrahamic religions, okay? So I left, and that was probably, I'm thinking it was around, very beginning of 2008, and definitely on New Year's Day of 2009. I remember it vividly because I was corresponding with a gentleman on YouTube named King Heathen, I'm sure, and I took photos of albino deer in the snow out here by Mother's house, one albino and two regular looking. And it went into the paper on the front page where I work, and Community News, Linesville.com. And it was January 1st, 2009 or something. Yeah. Okay, so I made my way out of having a type of belief that goes along those lines. So I became a free thinker in that manner. Meanwhile, I was a Fox News viewer, totally. I totally believed all the stuff, they're fair and balanced and all that stuff. And the reason why I did like them, actually, ladies and gentlemen, is they gave a platform to, boy, is it windy, to libertarian thinkers. A little bit of a studio malfunction here. To libertarian thinkers, and I, was real libertarian back then. Now I'm a mixture of all kinds of different things. A potpourri, if you will, potpourri. So, how did I leave that? I left that after seeing Brave New Films movie called Outfoxed, Rupert Murdoch's War on Journalism. But even after watching that movie, I still stayed with Fox. I kind of knew what they were all about. Pardon me, but I stayed with them anyway. I should also back up and say that I've always run a bit conspiratorial. As I've said, I don't accept official governmental stories and all that jazz. And that's what kind of attracted me to the libertarian situation, because I think that both branches, so to speak, sort of are mistrustful of government, but for different reasons. Like, I think the libertarians are more so because they don't accept official governmental stories, and, well, nor do progressives, but I think that your liberal person wants to see good things happen with governmental money, whereas your conservative person really doesn't like the idea of really they don't like the idea of any kind of what they call big government. So, do you understand? So both of us, or both of them, whatever, are mistrusting of the government for different reasons. Mine was basically, I didn't care for the corporate welfare, and I didn't care for the official stories they told us about the most ridiculous things they come up with that we're supposed to just believe hook, line, and sinker. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I watched that Rupert Murdoch movie, and then I have to get a little sip. Oh, brought to you by Texas Blue Bonnets. That's what we're calling them. And life went on, and then finally, I did see another documentary called The Brainwashing of My Dad. So I left Fox News altogether. But I didn't really know where to go. I mean, I had watched some alternative media over the years, like the Young Turks and things like that. I've left them since, so don't panic. And I started to kind of get back into them, I guess. But meanwhile, I flipped over to CNN and MSNBC. I didn't really know any better. I didn't know. I wasn't as into the details then as I am now. Oh, I forgot to mention, around 2010, a friend of mine named Victor Tiffany, he has an outlet called Revolt Against Plutocracy, I think it is. And he was instrumental in that Bernie or Bust movement, where basically telling the oligarchs, no more. We're not going to go with an establishment candidate, blah, 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 blah. So he helped me to get away from Fox, too, because he ran a blog called the Glenn Beck Review. Kind of showed me how Glenn Beck was, kind of a goober, I guess, to put it delicately. I don't like to speak ill of my dear sweet Glenn. So Victor Tiffany was instrumental in this and blah, blah, blah. And then life went on. And this is at the time where I was really becoming more awakened, I suppose. And I had heard about how all the media's, owned by the 6 corporations and corporate. And I didn't realize all that. So this has all been a learning thing for me. And it was right around that time that I heard of Miko Peled, the gentleman who's an Israeli peace activist. I'm sure you've heard me speak of Miko Peled. If I had heroes, he'd be one. And so when I found out the real history of the Israel-Palestine situation, I thought, oh my God, what else have I been wrong about? That's when I really delved into things and completely got rid of corporate media and started to look at things in a totally different way, ladies and gentlemen. And so over that time, of course, then Bernie Sanders came on the scene, and I learned a different angle of the anti-establishment sort of stuff, and was introduced to the Thom Hartmann show, and I learned a lot, especially through his chat room. So some people wonder, why do I still give Tom a shot, which I do get irritated with him, as you know. I think he's very establishment now. But the chat room, I garnered so much information from these people, and I feel like I don't want to totally ditch them. So this has led me to a lot of different things, like looking into, I guess the esoteric stuff, or looking into, kind of everything we know is wrong deal. Like, what if we are just a brain in a vat? And opening up once again to let the conspiracies back in, because for a really long time, I didn't go on about conspiracies. I didn't talk about them. I kind of knew that the official stories weren't true, but I don't know. I had to back away from it. I think a lot of people have to protect themselves mentally from really learning what our government is capable of doing, killing people, whatever. And when I say government, too, I often mean the shadow government, the hidden hand, the 1%, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. But these people that are out front, like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, they're basically puppets. So I'm talking about the shadow government. I think there's even a book called that. So that is how it started. Really, the total first catalyst was my leaving religion. And then from there, it took a long time. I mean, it's been, almost 10 years since I did that. So it just has taken a long time to really reassess things, look at things again, discover real alternative media, like Mike Rivero, what really happened. Oh God, RT, the RT shows with Lee Camp, Jimmy Dore, people that are really, really speaking truth to power, not towing the line for any official party or any of that jazz. And of course, that's where I find myself now, as a total independent. I don't like to label myself as anything. I don't have a religion. I don't have a political party. I don't want to say I don't have heroes, but I really don't, because I find it dangerous when you put your faith in a person, because they will always let you down, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to admire people, that's fine, that's dandy. So I guess that's how it's gone. That's my journey to free thinking. And if you have any specific questions if you'd like me to hit on one particular point a little stronger in another video, I will do that. This is now just over 10 minutes long. I think you can handle it. I don't think it's going to cause people to clutch pearls and gallop into the streets. But the people, once again, are the items or the places that were instrumental. Would have been Victor Tiffany, Bernie Sanders, Miko Peled, Tim Black, H.A. People like that, too, worked their way in later. During the primaries, especially, and the Sane Progressive. I remember when her channel wasn't quite as wild or a lot of people on it and stuff. So I appreciate anybody speaking truth to power and not afraid to go against their own, I guess, belief system. It's very difficult to do, and a lot of people do leave you as friends, or they think you're nuts, or they can't believe that you don't believe the Russia story and anything to get rid of Trump. And, I don't feel that way. I think that's wrong, because you have to have principles, across the board, or why the hell have them. Okay, Lounging with Lisa, the video series, and has me lounging, while coming at you with my journey to free thinking.